All right. All right, so the first thing we can do to decide if something is normal is look at a graph. And so I'm going to show you guys how to do that on your calculator. So I need you guys to put all of these data points in for L1 by hitting Stat Edit. Wouldn't it be great if there were?
Yeah.
So
New calculator update.
one of the more challenging parts of the data analysis field is actually writing the programming that you can ask the question in a way that will easily download into a spreadsheet or something to make this not a thing. Data entry is a huge component of how that works.
Not reached the update of math yet.
Not easily. There should be 36 numbers.
Okay. So I missed 4 of them.
The teachers told us
That's okay. Well, there's some. I'm like really bad.
Are you sure there's 36 not 35?
I got 37.
I also got 37. I got 37. I got
I'm
30.
gonna assume I'm right.
I got 36.
Oh wait, no, I got 36.
I got 30.
Oh yeah. I just went down one.
Sick.
This one never get easier for
I
me.
am
right?
definitely the correct one.
One thing that helps is if you draw like little lines as you go. That's what I do.
Wait, Miss Meister, what do we do after we plug it all?
We're waiting just till everybody gets it plugged in.
There's 2, 4, 5. There's, and
That's a
then
lot
there's
of
like
cubic
1,
feet.
2, 3, 4, 15,
Like comparatively, thinking of how much like a fridge is actually.
and 3.
This is like cited data, granted from 2010.
That's still pretty really interesting to think about that.
That is a lot of cubic feet
Even the
for sure.
smallest, or even the smallest fridge can hold 12 feet. Cubic feet. I think.
Okay, I found my problem.
You found it?
Yeah, I put 15.6 in one time.
Yeah. If you're missing one, most likely it's going to be one of the repeat ones, right? That's in there more than once. 36? All right. So first and foremost, I don't think I'm going to be that zoomed in either. If I'm standing here, can you guys see the calculator above me?
I can't really see the data on it, but I can see the data. Or not data, sorry, the calculator.
You don't need to read the actual lists because everything else we're going to be doing is going to be fine. So yes, no, we're good.
Yeah, that's a little more challenging. Yeah, that's good.
All right. So how do we decide if we have data? How do we decide if it is normally distributed? Well, the first thing we talked about with normally distributed was that the shape of the graph was approximately a bell. Okay, we haven't really made graphs in the calculator yet, right? All right, the calculator will do all your graphs, not all of them. It will do most of your graphs for you, okay? So to get to the statistical graphs, it's going to be very similar to getting to other graphs. You got to start by telling the calculator what to graph. You do that in the stat plot menu. So you're going to hit second y equals. And since we want to look at a histogram to decide bell shape, we're going to select the one. You see how this one looks like a histogram? Okay, second stat plot, and then it says L1, or stat plot 1, plot 2, plot 3. Open up plot 1 by hitting enter. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. And then you're going to pick the one that looks like a histogram. You want on, well, you want the plot turned on so you can see it.
Yeah.
That's what because otherwise you can.
Wait, mine just was on off. I shouldn't have done that.
Hold up, I gotta change the color.
And then you're doing the one that looks like a histogram?
You're doing the one that looks like a histogram. So if we want to see a histogram, that's what we do. Okay. Now, If you were to just hit graph from here, you probably won't be able to see the graph. You're not going to change anything. You're going to zoom to the right part of the graph. So everybody hit the zoom button. Hit the zoom button, I'm pointing to it right here, to the center of that top row of buttons. Does anybody see something that might help us?
Zoom out.
How about number 9?
Zoom stat.
Zoom stat is going to zoom to the statistical graphs. Is everybody good? Okay. Those of you, let's start with error syntax. Hit y equals and make sure you don't have anything typed in your y equals menu. Invalid dim. Nora, did you put it in L1? Did you put the list in L1?
Yeah.
And is your histogram being made of L1?
I'm pretty sure.
If you're using the phone app, it's going to look a little bit different.
Savina fixed it.
They are buffed.
They kind of slow until they just like half the clock. What? It's no longer relevant.
Now it's gonna be messed up with repeat.
Hey, don't call them that without giving permission. Yeah, do you give them permission before you see that work? That's a very awesome last name. My last name
Yeah, the month.
Yes.
Oh wait.
Yeah, I mostly English myself.
I live right next to the pool.
Oh, just like one of them next to the pool. No, I live in the brick one. The brick. Okay.
How we doing? We good? We
I'm
good? We
more
good? We
of
good?
an English person. I have the last name of Allen.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, does this look close enough to bell shape?
No, not really.
Okay. Guys, go ahead and hit window.
One doesn't entirely agree.
One never agrees with me. If you hit window, do you guys see where it says X scale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's right there.
That X scale is how wide each of the bins is. You with me?
Yes.
Change that to a 1 instead of a 0.91. And when you do that, hit graph. Don't hit zoom 9 again. Just hit graph.
Oh, that's.
I don't like how that.
Mine doesn't look like that.
Yeah, mine got really big. I zoomed in on accident.
I have one that's
Mine's not looking like that either. You wanna come see mine?
Yeah.
Mine is.
Mine has a taller box.
Mine has.
Yeah, what is yours? This is what happened to me.
Why does mine look like that? Whoa.
Wait. I know what
You're some ding one.
No, because she said don't press it. I don't press it. Don't press.
No, it's
You have your phone like position.
no, it's
That's, I'm not mad. I forgive you completely.
thank you
No,
for that.
Please don't. Theo, what are your thoughts on Queen Elizabeth
No, you
II?
changed it to 1.9 instead of just 1.
That's pretty cool.
That was.
How did that happen?
I didn't really.
Just here, I do have a question though, because this is crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what happened to mine. I feel like she's like tired of my class already.
I'm still stuck at the
Yeah.
Okay. Does everybody have one that looks at least close to this?
How do I get it to? Mine is completely bad.
I did, and I'll do it again.
Oh, well, actually, I don't have water.
But maybe you could, I don't know. Pull back.
Yours is fine.
All right. So, guys, our first step in deciding is something normally distributed is does the graph tell us that we can rule it out? when you're looking at this, anything that's mound-shaped and close to symmetric, just by changing that bin width, I look at this one and I say, that's still fairly bell-shaped. Is everybody okay? Okay. So, does the graph say we can rule this out as normal? No. So our next step is going to be to use the summary statistics to try to get there. Okay. So, from here, we need to know what are the mean and the standard deviation of our set.
13.852, yeah, 1.22.
For those of you that don't remember how to find this, okay, you're going to hit stat and arrow over to calc. And we're just going to run those one variable stats on L1. Lane, you're going to run those on L2.
Can you repeat that?
Stat. Arrow over to calc. And choose the one variable stats. And when I do that, I see that the X bar is, I got a slightly different X bar. Why do I have a slightly different X bar?
I have 825.
So one of mine's in wrong. How about we call it 15.8 and just everybody's a winner?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I think I probably recorded it wrong.
Okay, and the standard deviation is about 1.2?
Yeah.
Is this okay? Is this okay? We good?
Yes.
All right. So you guys remember yesterday, we did that 68, 95, 99.7 rule, right? Was that yesterday? Tuesday?
That was 3.8.
That was everything. We've been doing that for a couple of days now, right? 68. So are you with me? Can we figure out what are the two numbers that are one standard deviation away from the mean? Can we just figure out, like, if I were to start building my x-axis, okay?
17.
I would make this 15.8, and then I would count by my standard deviation, right? This would be 14.6, and this would be 17.0, right? Is everybody with me? And what should be true here?
They're equal distances apart from the mean.
Well, they are equal distance apart from the mean, but that was, so in a normal distribution, what was true? One standard deviation away was
34.
34 on each side, but 68 total. Yes? Is everybody with me? All right, so I gotta get rid of this video now. Okay, so if I go up here, luckily Miss Meister put this in increasing order.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And if we go in between 14.6, that's here, right? And 17.0. Is everybody with me here? In that section, how many points do we have?
64%.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I was just guessing that's probably 80% of the points based on the other things that we've done.
Well, we're going to count them, right? There's 25 points? Is that how many there is? Everybody get 25? Okay, so hold on. So in between 14.6 and 17, we have 25 of how many? How many points were there?
36.
So couldn't we, like, determine what percent is actually within one standard deviation of the mean? Is you guys with me on how I'm getting here? Okay. What am I getting? What is 25 out of 36? This is where you guys become smarter than me.
0.694.
0.694. Is that pretty darn close to the 68%?
I would say so.
Sure. I'll allow it this time.
So let's try two standard deviations. What would my two standard deviations be? feel like this would be 18.2, right? If I just keep counting by my 1.2s. And 13.4, does that sound right?
Yes, yeah, sure.
Okay, so for 2 standard deviations, I need to know how many of my points are between 13.4 and 18.2. It's all but 2, yeah?
Yeah.
So 34 out of 36?
0.88 repeating.
Mm-mm.
0.94.
0.94 repeating?
Oh, I did it wrong.
How are we feeling about the 68 and 95 of this data so far? We're good? All right. If I go 3 standard deviations, I'll be at 19.4 and 12.2.
That's 100%.
That's 100%. It's all of them. So it's supposed to go 68%, 95%, 99.7%. What actually happened, 69.4%, 94.4%, and 100%. Did you guys get the general idea here? Does it follow that 68, 95, 99.7 rule?
No.
It's pretty close.
That 68, guys, is it going to be perfect when you only have 96 or 36 values? No. Is it close to following the 68, 95, 99.7 rule?
I guess.
Yes.
I am very comfortable based on the histogram that looked mostly bell-shaped and this analysis that it's close enough that I'm very comfortable calling this group approximately normal. Are we comfortable with this? So, the stuff we're going to do next week, we cannot do if we don't know that something is normally distributed. Like if it's not part of that nice bell-shaped stuff, then we can't use the stuff that assumes it is. Is this okay? Yeah.
So say on like a graded assignment, we got something that was obviously on a bell curve. Could we just like stop right there and just say like graph does not match?
If you always start with the graph because that's the easiest way to rule something out.
Yeah.
So this concept is not going to be on your graded assignment. It is going to be on your project. And so you're going to be asked to go find something that's normally distributed. I'm going to give you some resources as where you might find it, okay? And the very first thing you're going to want to do is look at a graph and say, does it look to be approximately bell-shaped? So if you see it that's not super bell-shaped, then you're probably not going to want to use that set of data. You're going to want to find something different. But this is not going to be data you go out and gather, but rather stuff that you find using the interwebs. Did that answer your question?
Kind of.
You're not going to be asked directly, so there's never going to be you'll stop doing the assignment. I'm not going to set you up for failure with the graded assignment that's happening next week. When you go to do your project, you want to make sure it matches what it's supposed to. It is normal before you proceed with the project. But the very first thing I ask you to do is make a graph so that you can use the graph to justify why you're going to continue. Okay? But you don't just stop, then you go find a different data set. Questions? All right. I'm fine with giving you a study hall for the rest of the period. However, if you owe me assignments and you're not working on those assignments, we are going to throw down. It'll be unpleasant for all of us. Everybody good? I am also going to pass back assignments. I mean, it's going to be something that I can win, so probably not. I think just about everybody in this room could take me.
So what, you're just gonna like run away?